Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're going to be looking at a case study, a
Yeah.
website that managed to climb the Google rankings all the way to the top in just 130 days. And they did it through the power of backlinks.
Yeah, this case study is really fascinating. It wasn't just about getting any old link. It was a really well planned out approach to building those backlinks. And every step played a crucial role in getting that website to number one. And what made this particular project so enjoyable was the client had a solid grasp of SEO. So we were able to really work together, really fine tune the strategy together. And ultimately, that's what led to some pretty amazing results.
Let's go back to the very beginning. The website launched in September of 2023. Did they have, big plans right from the start?
Absolutely. They had ambitious goals right from day one.
Okay, so let's talk about backlinks for a minute. Why are they so important for SEO?
Well, think of backlinks like votes of confidence. When a reputable website links to yours, it's like they're telling Google, hey, this website has great content. People trust this website. And Google, Google really pays attention to those votes of confidence.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not just about the number of backlinks, it's about the quality of those backlinks. How did you approach building this backlink profile?
So we started by, taking a good look at the competition. We wanted to understand what a natural backlink profile looked like for websites in this particular niche. And it was interesting because even some of the most established sites had accumulated a fair number of what we call no-follow backlinks over time, from things like, profiles and reviews.
Can you just quickly clarify for listeners what no-follow backlinks are?
Sure. No-follow basically tells search engines, don't count this link as a direct endorsement. So, you often find them in places like social media profiles or online forums.
So even though they might not be the most powerful kind of backlink, they do help create a more natural-looking profile.
Exactly. You want that mix of no-follow and do-follow links to make it look really diverse and organic. So we chose a few really high-quality profile and review sites just to get the ball rolling.
I've heard that profile backlinks are useless, but it sounds like they actually can be helpful when they're used strategically.
Right. It's all about understanding how each type of backlink works and where it fits into the overall plan.
So once you had that initial foundation, what was the next step in this backlink journey?
So then we shifted our focus to social media. Now, pretty much everyone has a social media presence these days, but a lot of those profiles aren't even indexed by search engines.
You mean they're invisible to Google?
Exactly. So we make sure all the clients' social media profiles were set up correctly to get indexed. This not only gave us more backlinks, but it also helped expand their online presence.
So it's not enough to just create those profiles. You have
Right.
to optimize them so they actually work for you.
Right, exactly. It's about making the most of every opportunity. By the end of September, all those social media profiles were up and running, contributing to the website's growing backlink profile.
You were really starting to create this web of connections, linking everything together. What came after that?
Well, that's where things got really interesting. We started exploring the world of guest posting.
Ah, guest posting. So that's where you write articles for other websites
Yeah.
and get a backlink in return.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to be careful to avoid what we call link farms, websites that exist just to sell backlinks. Those can actually hurt your ranking.
So how do you find good guest posting opportunities, the ones that will actually help your website?
Competitor analysis is key. So we took a close look at the backlinks of their successful competitors. This helped us find websites that were already open to guest posts and had a good track record.
It's like you're following a treasure map that someone else has already drawn.
You could say that. It's a lot more efficient than just reaching out randomly and hoping for the best. We narrowed it down to 23 websites, and we sent out outreach emails to all of them.
And what kind of response did you get?
Well, 21 of them replied, which is great. But they all came with a fee, which is pretty standard for guest posting. But it means you really have to choose carefully. You have to think about where to invest your resources.
So how did you choose which websites were worth the investment?
We used Ahrefs, which is a really powerful SEO tool, to analyze how each website was performing organically. We wanted to make sure we were partnering with sites that were already doing well in search results. We ended up choosing 15 websites. They were all high performing, and their audience is aligned with the client's target audience.
That's smart. So you had these websites lined up. What was your content strategy?
We decided to create high-quality review-style articles, written from a third-person perspective.
Why the third-person approach?
It just helped to keep things neutral and avoid sounding too promotional. We wanted those guest posts to feel informative, trustworthy, adding real value to the reader, while also, of course, building authority for the client's website.
That makes sense. So you have these guest posts going out, building authority and bringing in those valuable backlinks. What was your next move?
We decided to try niche edits. These are really targeted backlinks that can do a lot to boost your page rank and link equity.
Okay, niche edits. What are those exactly? And how are they different from guest posts?
Well, imagine finding existing content that's already relevant to your website and then getting a backlink within that content. So you're tapping into authority that's already there.
I bet that takes some work. How many niche edit backlinks were you aiming for?
Our goal was to secure at least 30 within 2 months, but we actually ended up getting 41.
That's impressive. What kind of impact did this have on the website's authority?
By the end of November, the website's domain rating had gone up to 31, all thanks to that mix of backlinks we'd been building.
Okay, so the authority is increasing. What about traffic to the website? Were you starting to see results there yet?
Well, here's the thing. Even with a good domain rating, organic traffic was still pretty low, only about 5 clicks a day. And this happens a lot in SEO, which can make clients nervous.
So how did you manage that?
Well, transparency is really important. So I explained to the client that building organic traffic just takes time. The backlink strategy was working, but it wasn't going to produce instant results. It's all about the long game.
Patience is a virtue, right?
Absolutely. It's not a quick fix. You have to trust the process and focus on the bigger picture.
So the website's authority is growing, traffic is still low. What was your next step?
It was time to bring in the big guns, editorial backlinks.
Editorial backlinks.
These are high-quality links from reputable websites. Usually you get them through guest blogging marketplaces or personal connections.
And you saw these as crucial for taking things to the next level.
Exactly. The holiday season was coming up, and we wanted to secure those backlinks before things slowed down.
So the pressure was on. How did you find those opportunities?
We reached out to our network of personal connections, and we also checked out a guest blogging marketplace. These marketplaces give you access to lots of editors and authors, which makes it easier to connect with relevant websites.
And those high-quality backlinks probably came with a higher price tag, right?
We did. We invested in 15 opportunities and got 12 high-quality backlinks in return.
Some people might hesitate to spend that kind of money. Why were those editorial backlinks so important?
Well, they weren't just about the immediate results. They were about building long-term relationships with those influential websites. It was about getting the most out of each opportunity.
A strategic investment, then.
Exactly, with both short-term and long-term benefits. And it really paid off. Those editorial backlinks gave the website its first big jump in rankings. A lot of the pages finally started ranking for their main keywords.
That's great. It sounds like all that hard work was starting to pay off.
Absolutely. December 2023 was a real turning point. The website was performing better and better, and we knew we were on the right track.
Things were really starting to get exciting, weren't they?
They were. It's always exciting to see things come together and start producing results.
Before we move on to the last part of this backlink journey and how the website got to that #1 spot, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back to finish up this SEO success story. All right, we're back, ready to hear the rest of this SEO success story. So where were things at by the end of 2023?
The website was, well, it was pretty much ready for that top spot. You know, we had a solid foundation with about 37 pages, and a good chunk of them were already on the second page of Google.
So close, but not quite there yet.
Right, but, remember those editorial backlinks we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, they really made a difference. They pushed the site's domain rating up to 40, and that higher domain rating can really help you get better search rankings.
So those backlinks were working their magic. What else was going on at this point?
The website's backlink profile was looking really good, with 76 referring domains and a total of 212 backlinks, plus more and more general review websites. We're starting to list the site naturally, which helped even more with its authority and visibility.
It's like a snowball effect, isn't it? The more authority you get, the more attention and links you attract.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. And then on January 18th, we hit the milestone. The website reached its goal. It was in the top 5 for its main keywords.
That's amazing. All in just 130 days.
Yeah, it really shows you what a good backlink strategy can do.
It does. So the website hit its target. Did that mean you were done? Or was there still more to do?
Well, in SEO, you're never really done, but at that point we had a bit of breathing room, so we decided to try out some other tactics just to see if we could push things even further, like Broken
Rubber
backlinks.
backlinks, yeah.
That's a classic one.
Can you explain how that works?
Sure. Basically, you find broken links on other websites, links that lead to a 404 error page, and then you suggest your own content as a replacement. It can be a pretty good way to get backlinks, but we didn't focus too much on it in this case.
Why not? If it works, I mean,
Oh, it definitely works. It's just, it can take a lot of time. And to be honest, we were already seeing great results with the other methods we were using.
makes sense. So what are the things that you try?
We also looked at forum backlinks. They've kind of made a comeback lately. They might not be as powerful as some other types of backlinks, but forums are good for building brand awareness and adding more variety to your backlink profile.
So you were like going into forums and dropping links everywhere.
No, no, not like that. The best way to use forums is to find what we call unlinked brand mentions. So you find places where people are talking about your brand, but they haven't linked to your website, then you just politely suggest that they add a link. It's much more natural that way.
I like that. It's more about guiding people to your site, not forcing it on them. What else?
We even tried Web 2.0 backlinks. A lot of people think those aren't effective, but we had a specific strategy in mind. We use them for what's called tier link building.
Tier link building. I'm not familiar with that one.
So it's basically a way to boost the power of your backlinks. We created a few niche websites using Web 2.0 platforms and made sure Google indexed them. Then we linked those sites to our niche edits and guest posts.
So you're creating this network of supporting websites.
Exactly. It helps your backlinks get crawled and indexed faster, and it also increases the number of backlinks pointing to the main site.
Wow, that's pretty advanced stuff.
Yeah, but throughout the whole process, we always focused on high-quality content. That's the foundation of any good SEO strategy.
Right, content is king.
Absolutely. A lot of competitors were using AI-generated content for their backlinks, but we stuck with human-written content.
Why was that so important to you?
AI is getting better, sure, but it still can't match the quality and depth that a human writer can bring.
So that was one of the things that set you apart.
It was, and it played a big part in the website's success.
This has been so fascinating, seeing how you took this website from nothing all the way to the top of the search results.
It's been a really interesting case study.
Now, what happened after the website reached that #1 spot? Did you just relax and watch the traffic pour in?
Well, SEO is an ongoing process, you know. I kept working on the project until April 2024, making sure the website kept its ranking and continued to do well.
So even after you reach your goal, there's still work to do.
There is. You have to stay on top of things to maintain that top ranking.
Okay, earlier you mentioned that the client was nervous when organic traffic was slow, even though their domain rating was going up. What advice would you give to someone in that situation?
I'd say be patient. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away. Building organic traffic takes time, especially if you're in a competitive niche. Focus on building a solid foundation. With good quality backlinks, the traffic will come eventually.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great deep dive into backlinks. We've learned so much.
It's been
Before we go, let's recap the key takeaways for our listeners. Stay with us. We'll be right back with our final thoughts. All right, we're back and ready for the final stretch of our deep dive into backlinks. After hearing this case study, I feel like I have a much better understanding of how backlinks actually work. So what are the big takeaways, the things our listeners should really remember?
I think the most important thing is having a good strategy for building backlinks is crucial. It's not just about getting any link you can find. You really want to focus on high-quality links from sources that'll give your website more credibility.
Like you said earlier, backlinks are like endorsements
Exactly.
from other websites that Google trusts.
That's right. And this case study shows just how important it is to build a diverse backlink profile. We saw how everything from, profile backlinks and social media to guest posts, niche edits, even Web 2.0 backlinks, they all had a part to play.
And it's fascinating to see how everything fits together. It's like, oh, this network of authority and relevance makes you realize that SEO is, it's more complicated than people think.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely a skill to it.
And we can't forget about patience, like we talked about. You know, how the client was a little worried when organic traffic was slow, even though their domain rating was going up.
Right, right.
So what would you say to someone who's in that situation?
Be patient. SEO is a long game. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away. Building organic traffic takes time. Focus on a strong foundation with good quality backlinks, and the traffic will come.
Okay, so for our listeners who are working on their backlink strategies right now, What's the one piece of advice you'd give them?
I would say focus on quality over quantity. Don't try to copy your competitors. Build your own unique content that's actually helpful for your audience, and be smart about your outreach. Connect with websites that are relevant to your niche and that have a good reputation.
Great advice. This deep dive has been really eye-opening. We've really learned a lot about the power of backlink.
I'm glad you found it helpful.
So to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. We hope you learned some valuable stuff and feel ready to boost your own website's visibility. Until next time, happy optimizing.